because her lifespan is a whopping 20 years or more. By the afternoon, the scorching temperatures start to fall. Plants here can barely survive the freezing temperatures in the winter and summer highs that exceed 120 degrees. Yet these highs and lows allow the ecosystem to thrive and the flowers to bloom. The sounds of the desert can be peaceful, but there's one sound everyone dreads to hear. Rattlesnakes. If you're lucky, you'll hear their warning first. The rattle consists of modified scales that interlock and overlap. A unique muscle at the base of the tail vibrates these segments 20 times per second to produce the distinctive rattling sound we all dread. This rattler comes fully loaded with elliptical pupils and heat-sensing pits, a deadly venom system, and reserve fangs to replace ones that might break off inside a victim. Nearly every creature in the desert fears the rattler. Every creature but one. The king snake. 4 feet long and glowing with vivid patterns. It doesn't have any venom of its own, but it has a different deadly trick. The king is a constrictor. The fangs of the rattlesnake could easily kill the king snake if they strike with enough force. But his venom will have little effect. She's protected from the toxins by a complex of proteins in her body. The standoff doesn't last for long. It's over in the blink of an eye. The king snake got the drop on the rattler without being bitten. Her secret can only be revealed through the lens of a slow-motion camera. Using her superior reflexes, the king snake stages a brilliant preemptive attack. She clamps down on the rattler's jaws before they can open. Next, she pulls the rattler into a clearing and positions his body for the next gruesome step, consumption. King snakes may be pretty, but this female is a femme fatale with a whale-sized appetite. She eats the rattler while he is still alive. Her strong body surrounds the rattler, making it impossible for him to bite her or to breathe. Snakes are one of this female's favorite meals. For one thing, snakes have no arms or legs to deal with. For another, this rattler fits perfectly in her long stomach, right down to the last rattle. Coming up, a mythical monster with a venomous bite. And later, the crew encounters
Don't step there!
the ghost of the desert. Life in the desert is not only a struggle between predator and prey. It can also come down to a race between the young and the old. In the blistering heat of the day, animals will seek shelter to conserve energy, and some may only emerge a few times a year to eat. Deep in its burrow, a reluctant hunter is about to surface. The only venomous lizard in the American Southwest, and it's a real monster. For 95% of the year, it stays in its burrow, living off stored energy. But eventually, it's forced to surface to fatten up. The Gila monster. This 5-pound female is 2 feet long. Her colors warn other animals she is venomous and armed to the teeth. She kills her prey with powerful jaws. But her jaws are also part of a toxic defense system. When the lizard moves them, muscle pressure forces venom out through ducts directly onto her teeth. Biologists believe that the venom, used only for defense, makes her bite so painful to enemies that they'll remember to leave her alone in the future. Gila monsters have poor eyesight. Instead, they use their forked tongues to pick up the scent of food. Nearby, another monster has emerged. This male is literally on his last legs. He's almost 20 years old, the average lifespan of his species. Gila monsters are binge eaters who eat only 3 or 4 times a year. This old male can chow down 35% of his body weight in a single feeding. But his legs are beginning to go, and now he's on the brink of starvation. Suddenly, his tongue picks up a welcome scent. A feast with a fat content that's off the charts. But the female is already there. It's a clutch of eggs from a ground nesting bird. Breaking through the shells will splatter most of the eggs on the ground, so she eats them whole. The egg feast will sustain the female for weeks. Her low metabolic rate and ability to store fat means she can relax in her burrow until she is ready to venture out and eat once more. As for the old male, he never got close to the eggs, and he hasn't the strength to go on. The Apache Indians believe that a single breath from a Gila monster could kill the strongest of warriors. Now, the short breaths of this old hunter are his last. He's too weak to go on, and starvation